What's going on, Shady people? ShadyPenguinn here, bringing you another episode of the Stanley Parable. This is the second episode of our series inside the series Shady Steams. Before we get started, if you can, please show some shady love to that like button right below this video. If you missed the last episode, stop right now. Check out the playlist in the description. Go back and watch the first episode. We're going into this game again, and it is a crazy, crazy game. This is really, really crazy. I'm ready to play this game. All right, so storytelling game. The narrator's telling a story about us.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Apparently everyone's
Stanley
gone.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
This computer's not on. Last time that computer was on. None of those computers are on now. Okay, I wonder if that means anything. I'm gonna obey the narrator for a little while. Because last time we didn't, and it ended really weird. Ended really creepily.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Alright, so we're gonna take the door on our left. So apparently my existence is miserable because all I do is push a button all
Yet
day.
there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
What? Using slides to assure employees that everything's okay. Make sure your slide has a slick blue graphic in the header and throw some bevel on all the text. This will ensure a common, productive work environment. Everyone is unique. You most of all. What is hot? Stock market. What do people want? Things, money, more money. Money to buy more things. Graphs. Profits, profits, profits. Buy quarterly. Post review. We need a lot of percent. Rate at which charts on the same information. Synergize core value. Expenditures. Shift global market. Monetize free to play. Oh man. Is there anything on the desk for us? So I'm guessing this game isn't really about collecting things. Obviously, there's no inventory. There's nothing like that. But it's more just it's just about the story, and me going up to my boss's office right now. Wait.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Here we go again. I have this instinct to just disobey. I'm gonna try going downstairs. Down seems so bad, though. Let's try it. Oh, it's red. I think I want to go back up. You know what? I'm actually rather curious. I'm rather curious to see what's upstairs in the boss's office. Executive bathroom. This is a nice office. Doors are locked.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication
I can't even
of
open
any
this door?
human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
So does that mean I'm supposed to do it? Or am I not supposed to know it?
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
What is going on? Oh, so you have to go downstairs anyway. I don't trust this. I don't trust this. Oh my gosh, I don't trust this at all. An actual loading screen? What?
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Yo, this looks insane.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
I feel like if I go in here, I'm gonna die.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Wait, so can I go back?
But of course, Stanley thought better of it and realized he simply had too much to live for.
Wait, am I really? Is this really?
Nope, still on board with death.
Is it actually death? No, because last time he said that I had a loving wife and he was lying to me.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Oh my gosh, I really don't know. I really don't know. I mean, it seems like such a, like...
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
This is really creeping me out. I'm just gonna do it. So did I die? Whoa.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Please stop.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
What just happened? Wait, so did I die?
It would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same.
This game is so deep.
Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
This is so crazy. This is so crazy. You got the credits right here to the creators of this great game. Let's go over here. This is like heaven, I guess it's supposed to be, because it's all white. It's just the afterlife. But I was dead from when I started the game. Wow. Over 2 years of development, the narration in this game took place. So I died. I did die. I definitely died, but just me falling down was just a way for me to get here. Hold on, I don't want to go there yet. I want to make sure I don't miss anything in the afterlife. 427. These are all my offices. Alright, so I see 3 different offices. I wonder if that means anything, but all with 427. Maybe there's 3 different endings? Oh no, this is just, it's just, okay, it was just, this is how it started out. It started out like this, went to this, and now went to this. Gotcha, okay. I don't think there's much in here. I think it's literally just a museum of the game. So I think we're gonna go ahead and look, there's the exit sign, like Page Master. We're gonna go ahead and I think we're gonna go through one more time.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true
Wait, so am I really supposed to hit quit?
choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time
So that was pretty crazy. Wait, so I literally have to quit the game? I literally have to quit the game. I literally have to hit quit. We're gonna start the game again. That was so crazy. All right, this time
all of his co-workers were gone.
we're gonna follow
What could it mean?
what the narrator
Stanley
says.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
We're gonna follow what the narrator says, basically no matter what. Well, we're gonna get back to the point where we were.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
We're gonna just really quickly
Yet there was not a single person here.
go to the
either.
boss's office.
Feeling a wave of disbelief,
And
Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs.
I still
want
want to go downstairs at some point. But we already went this far before.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any.
What happens if I
human
push the
life.
wrong code?
What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
I was hoping hitting the wrong key, the wrong code 3 times to do something, but it doesn't. Let me try one more time.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Stanley simply began entering random codes into the keypad, knowing full well the sheer statistical unlikelihood that this would ever result. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. he stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Alright, so we're gonna go back down to that mind control room. I'm still nervous again. This game is so... You guys, I definitely highly suggest playing this game on your own too. It's such a different feeling when you're, like, it's just so crazy. It's so crazy.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Alright, so this time we'll do this.
The lights rose on an enormous room
Whoa.
packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof, the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content, walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place.
Mind control.
And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
What I don't understand is everything says it's offline. So I'm not being controlled right now. The narrator's controlling me. What is this? Did that do anything? No. Okay. Pressing number 4 does nothing, folks. Number 4 does nothing. Useless. Useless. Simple. Alright, so let's go to the facility power. Can I push these buttons? No. I just pushed something. Mind controls idle. Awaiting input.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation.
I didn't mean to do that. I just interrupted him.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
So I just beat the game because an achievement unlocked up on the top left. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but the game starts over again, and we're going to end this episode here. I'm not going to end the series just yet because I really want to continue playing this game. If you guys are enjoying this, go ahead and leave a like rating down below. We did beat the main game, I guess, but I want to see what other endings are available because the first ending was crazy with me having a wife, and then I didn't. I want to see what else the game has to offer. So if you're hype, go ahead and leave a like rating down below. Subscribe. Make sure you don't miss a single episode of this or any of our future Shady Steams. Of course, as always, during Shady Steam series, let me know in the comment section below which games you want to see. Most importantly, I forgot to mention the last episode. The first episode and the last episode of every series is where you really vote on the next game. The next game is definitely going to probably be a platformer type thing, I'm thinking, or just something you guys chose. Maybe Five Nights 2. Whatever you guys want, let me know. But I'm going to get out of here. Have yourselves a good day. But above all else, keep it shady. I'm a piece of bread, and I just knocked over the chair. I'm holding on for my life. I'm holding on for my life. I pushed that last one because I thought that, like, I just don't like the narrator. He's just feel like he's a jerk.